You know, when you first open up Genesis chapter 5, it can look a little, well, dry. It seems like just a long list of names and numbers. But it's actually a crucial bridge. It's a 10-generation story that connects two of the biggest moments in history, from the very first man, Adam, all the way to Noah, the guy who builds the ark.
So how in the world do you tell a story that stretches over 1,600 years? Well, it turns out hidden inside this ancient family tree is a really fascinating pattern. A couple of absolutely shocking exceptions to the rule, and a single name that's just brimming with hope for the future.
All right, so first things first, let's look at this chapter for what it is, an official genealogical record.
Right from the get-go, the text tells you exactly what its purpose is. This is the official account, the direct line from the first man. But as we're about to see, it's not just a random list. It's structured in a very deliberate way. It establishes this powerful rhythm, a predictable cycle of life.
And that brings us to what I'm calling the pattern of life. You see, for almost every single person in this chapter, their life story is told using the exact same formula, over and over again. It's a really simple four-step cycle. A man lives for a while, he has a son, he keeps on living and has more kids, and then he died. It's a stark, powerful drumbeat that echoes through the generations. And we see this pattern play out right away. Adam lived 130 years, had his son Seth, lived another 800 years, and then he died at 930. His son Seth lived 105 years, had Enoch, lived another 807 years, and died at 912. The pattern is set.
And this chart really drives it home, doesn't it? I mean, we are talking about mind-bogglingly long lives here, stretching over 900 years. This wasn't the exception. In this ancient world, this was the norm. A 9-century life was just standard. But every single one of those long lives ended the exact same way, until one man.
This relentless rhythm of life and death just keeps building and building until we get to the first major plot twist in the story, the man who breaks the cycle.
The genealogy keeps on going, just as you'd expect. Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, they all follow the four-step formula perfectly. They lived, they had sons, they lived on, and then they died. And then we get to the 7th generation from Adam, a man named Enoch.
And bam, the pattern just shatters. For Enoch, the story doesn't end with, and then he died. It ends with this incredibly mysterious and stunning statement. He was no more because God took him away. He is the first person in this entire family line to completely escape death.
And this contrast is absolutely crucial. While everyone else's story ends in death, Enoch's ends with a divine rescue. His unique epitaph, he walked faithfully with God. It's a little detail that's given to no one else in the chapter, and it completely changes his outcome. So, right after the man who didn't die comes the man who lived the longest. Enoch's son was Methuselah, and that number you're looking at, 969, that's his final age. He holds the record for the oldest person mentioned in the entire Bible. The rhythm of life and death comes back, but man, on an epic scale.
But hold on, there's one more break in the pattern still to come. And this one isn't about death, it's about a birth. And it introduces something that has been missing from this whole story so far: hope.
When Methuselah's son Lamech has his own son, he does something no one else has done. He doesn't just name him, he gives a prophecy. After 9 generations of simple birth announcements, Lamech looks at his new baby and declares that this child is going to bring comfort from the curse that was placed on the ground way back in the Garden of Eden.
And so he names him accordingly. The name Noah literally means rest or comfort. For the very first time in this entire long list, a name isn't just a label, it's a promise. It's a declaration of hope for a tired and weary world. So, when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see the true purpose of this chapter. It isn't just a list, it's a very carefully constructed bridge.
This timeline here, it shows the whole journey. It's 10 generations that carry humanity from the very first man all the way to the man who's been chosen to survive a world-changing flood. And you can see the key events. Enoch being taken by God and Noah's prophetic birth are like the crucial pillars holding this whole bridge up.
So, who were the key players on this bridge? You've got Adam, the very start of it all. Enoch, the incredible exception who defied death. Methuselah, a symbol of just how long life could be. Lamech, the father who spoke a prophecy. And finally, Noah, the fulfillment of all that hope.
And this chapter, our bridge, it concludes right here.
at 500 years old, Noah has the 3 sons who are going to join him on the ark and eventually repopulate the entire world. The stage is now officially set for one of the most epic stories ever told.
So you see, this seemingly simple genealogy does so much more than just list names. It carries us across 1,600 years of human history. It establishes a world of incredible lifespans and inevitable death, only to introduce these amazing exceptions of faith and prophecies of hope. It built the bridge. So the real question is, what happens when Noah finally steps across it?